Hey guys, welcome back to the Weekly Astrology and Pick a Card reading for February 1st through to the 7th. Sorry I missed last week. I was just so busy that I was quite overwhelmed with everything, with orders, with life, with just everything. So sorry to those who watch, and but it's good to be back. And this week I'm using the usual 3 oracle cards, and it will be for your rising or sun signs element. So as usual, water, earth, fire, and air. All right, don't know why I forgot air for a second. Okay, my brain is still gearing up for the day. It's pretty early morning here, so yeah, and I need to have some coffee, but that's okay. I'm going to do the reading anyway, and hope everyone's doing okay out there. So this week, there's a lot of energy this week. There's always, like, so far it seems that this year, every week that I've done this reading, it's like there's always this big energy, and this week is also big energy. And really this whole month of February, it's big energy with the Saturn Uranus square. If you watch my Astrology 2021 video, which is on my main channel, Starlight Oracle, I spoke about this month being a key month, as well as around June, July, mostly June, I think. Just trying to remember. But Saturn square Uranus is a really tense aspect, and some people, you might be feeling this in the air already. There's this kind of tension in the air. I can feel it myself, and it felt like kind of last week things were kind of a bit more settled in some way, a bit more calm. I felt that, and a couple of people that I know said that. But this week it's starting to ramp up again with the Saturn Uranus square. The Saturn Uranus square creates a lot of tension in the air. It creates a tension between the energy of Saturn, which is restriction, and the government, and the status quo, all those things that we know Saturn to be, which are the structures of society, the way things operate, and authority, people in authority, the dictates of those in authority, and that sort of thing. Uranus is the people. It's interesting. Now we have Saturn in Aquarius. It's a different energy, obviously, to last year when it was in Capricorn. Square with Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is in fall. Saturn in Aquarius is, it's still very much related. Aquarius is very much related to Saturn energy, because Saturn traditionally rules Aquarius. So yeah, there's that. But what you may experience on a more practical level, what you may feel is, or you may even just observe, is in society this tension between groups of people and those in power, things like that. And in your own personal life, if you have anything in early fixed in your chart, so especially Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo, would have to be early, up to around 9 degrees, 10 degrees. You may be feeling this in your own life as this kind of tension of, well, I need to push to grow, but I'm kind of still held back by responsibility, by certain things, that the way they just are, and these forms that are kind of crystallized in my life. But what you may notice is the desire to make change is quite pressing, and you may feel prompted, and specifically for those people I mentioned with those fixed signs that I mentioned between 1 and 9 degrees, you guys will be feeling this if you have your sun, moon, or rising especially, or anything on an angle in your chart with those fixed degrees. You will feel that you have to change something in order to progress your life, in order to evolve, in order to go to the next level. Otherwise you may feel like you're being left behind in the old energy that you've been living already, and you kind of know, look, I can't get stuck there. I need to make the effort and put the energy in to push for a bit of change where I can, to start the ball rolling in a new direction, because it's like we're all being pressed to evolve now. And that's what I feel with this energy, with the Saturn Uranus square. And so it's almost like evolve or just sort of stay behind in the old energy, and I don't think that's a good idea. And it is going to take effort to push ourselves forward that little bit, and we don't have to knock ourselves out doing it. It's just like what you can do, what's realistic for you to do. And if you can't make change, you feel stuck, there may be other reasons for that. But if you refuse to make change through your own free will, well, that's a whole different thing. So it's the energy of seeing where your intuition has been prompting you to go towards implementing some kind of positive change in your life, And it would be gradual change. It wouldn't be like just dramatic change necessarily. But, you know, you always have to listen to your own intuition and what that's guiding you towards. And everyone has their own individual charts with their own transits going on. So I'm speaking very generally about these energies. So you'd have to know your own chart and what's going on with it. If you want help looking at that and understanding that, obviously I can help you with that, being that I'm an astrologer. Go to my online store, link below the video. Also, if you'd like to book, any other readings that I offer, go to my online store for that as well. And okay, so the other stuff going on this week is all week. There is also Jupiter in Aquarius squaring Lilith in Taurus from 9 to 12 degrees. If you have anything in chart, again, between, this is slightly ahead, 9 to 12 degrees of fixed, so 9 to 12 of Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, you may feel this energy as a desire for to push forward with some growth and change in your life. You may be feeling like you need to experience a bit more freedom in your life, a bit more independence in some way. And again, it's specifically affecting those signs the most that I mentioned. On the 2nd of February, actually, I forgot to, sorry, before I get to that, I forgot to mention this week is Mercury retrograde week. Okay, so not just this week, but it continues on till February 21st, actually, the Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So if you know your chart, look at where you have Aquarius in your chart, and you can see where the Mercury retrograde is transiting through what house, and if it contacts anything. The usual stuff with Mercury retrograde is kind of a good idea to double check important details, information, if you have to sign any contracts, which generally you do try to avoid that in a Mercury retrograde, but if you do have to, make sure you double check, triple check information. Anything of importance in your life, like documents that you're sending, make sure everything's correct. Keep an extra eye on your wallet, your keys, your phone, because people do lose or misplace these items and get very frustrated in Mercury retrograde. Sometimes technology can be quite glitchy, especially because it's in Aquarius this time around. So the Mercury retrograde starts this week and it goes till February 21st, so be aware of that. If you have Mercury retrograde in your natal chart, this can be quite good for you. So you can hear back from people from the past who are helpful to your life in some way. You can hear back about something that you've been waiting to hear back about. Someone, old friends or people from your past can reach out and get in contact with you. And that can be a positive thing. Usually it is. But you do need to be aware of, misplacing items, problems with vehicles, communication, misunderstandings. That's another one, especially in Aquarius. And misinformation as well. Getting information right. If you're researching things, making sure you dig deeply and really do your research on stuff at the moment with the retrograde energy. The other thing happening this week is actually from tomorrow, the 2nd of Feb, Venus moves out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So that's an interesting energy. It does favor more social connections, connecting with groups, online, more sort of online communications. It can feel a little bit more socially inclined compared to Venus in Capricorn that we've just had recently. And it can gear you more towards your own unique perspective, your own unique truth, pursuing things that you personally feel are of interest to you, regardless of, what other people think. It's very independent energy. You may feel like spending more time alone or just being with people that are like-minded souls. Then on the weekend, we have Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius and also Venus square Uranus. So it's interesting because with the Venus conjunct Saturn, for some people there could be a turning point in a relationship, like decisions in love, some kind of finality, a change in a relationship, a change in some situation, an end to some situation. Endings and new beginnings is definitely categorized with having Saturn and Venus conjunct. Some people it could be commitment in a relationship or a separation energy. And again, it's going to depend on your personal chart, but we may feel some tension in relationships, I'd say in general, on the weekend because of Venus square Uranus and Venus conjunct Saturn. So there are changes in relationships for a lot of people then. What else? Oh, and the Venus conjunct Saturn will affect, again, the fixed signs are really in focus this week. So as I said, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, 4 to 8 degrees for the Venus conjunct Saturn transit on the weekend. So if you have anything 4 to 8 degrees of those signs I mentioned, that you could be affected by that. And then I actually forgot to mention Friday to Saturday, the Sun trines the North Node in air signs. So this is very interesting for the air signs, anywhere between 15 to 18 degrees of air. This could bring some kind of forward momentum for you guys. So Aquarius, Libra and Gemini, Friday and Saturday, those degrees that I mentioned. If you have anything around those degrees, you might notice that you feel inclined to go forward in a certain direction or start something new, or feel like the way is being smoothed forward in some way. It could be a minor way, but it's still something that you may pick up on and feel in tune with. Okay, so I'm just going to drink some water, and then I'm going to get to the pick a card section. Okay, so I'm using a new deck this week, which is this gorgeous deck. I don't know if you can see this. Let me just hold the camera up to it. The Mermaid's Oracle of the Water by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Beautiful artwork. But the thing is with this deck, and I do love this deck, it's new for me, is the cards are very unique. They don't have sort of very clear messages. They're kind of a bit mystical and a bit sort of abstract. So I do have to read the book because I'm still working with this deck. It's a new deck, so I will read you the passages that stand out for me as I get to your cards there. Okay, so I'm going to start with the water signs this week, okay? So this is going to be for Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. I'll start with the Mermaid cards. So let's see. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We have a card that's flipping itself out. Sea Beasties. So quirky. Love it. Okay, so let's see what this one means for the water signs this week. It's number 8. So 8's an interesting number. It's all about manifestation and transformation. Very deep energy. So it says, lately you've felt some unfamiliar stirrings from thoughts and desires buried deep below the surface. These elements of self may be things you've forgotten, and they may be things you have intentionally ignored or unconsciously repressed. However, they are still there, and it's time to acknowledge their existence. These ideas and emotions, perhaps even fears, may be difficult to retrieve or recall, but do not worry, nothing is impossible, and the more you concentrate on becoming self-aware, the better you will become at understanding these hidden pieces of your personality. So it's like saying going into the deeper depths of yourself, where you may have fears or you may not be able to see clearly what's actually going on until you consciously choose to go into your shadow energy. So shadow work comes up for the water signs. Now shadow work can be just going into those parts of yourself that are repressed so that you can awaken your gifts. It doesn't have to be necessarily like, you know, trying to find the worst parts of your personality, or, you know, it could be just anything that gets your attention that is about your emotions that are a bit repressed or hidden. But it's always, there's an energy here with a gift with that. And so there may be sadness that you do have to face, but there's something positive that will come out of that. So that's the first card. Let's see what the next card is. This is from the Rainbow Oracle. Water signs. This one's come out. Oh, doors open. Wow. Well, that kind of relates to the first message, which is like once you do some kind of inner work and go deeper within, rather than sort of looking so much externally in some way. It could be emotionally, more to do with relationships, I'm feeling. There's something that you need to do to go within to find that spark of your own joy and your own creativity or your own gifts that are hidden. And the doors will open to new opportunities in the external world when you do the internal work first. So that's coming up for your attention, water signs. Let's see what else comes up for you guys this week. Water signs. Yes, there is. See, there's this sadness that comes up. See, it's come up twice here. I mean, if you look at her face here, she looks very sad and quite full on. Like something maybe in the external world has either not worked out for her the way she wanted to recently. So there may have been something that you were frustrated about or you felt blocked about. But there's work that needs to be done, and it's like, it's emotional, spiritual work. See, we have heartache and loss, and that makes sense to me because it's like digging deeper within the self to understand that sometimes we can't control the external circumstances, and sometimes if something's not working out in the external, there's some work that we need to do from within ourselves to work something out, to gain some level of understanding that's deeper, that comes from sometimes the pain, that comes from sometimes a sense of loss, or that we are temporarily not able to attain what we want, but there's a reason for it. It's not for just to feel a sense of suffering. So let's look at the astro dice for you guys. How appropriate, Neptune. So Neptune comes up, which rules Pisces, and we also have another water sign, Scorpio, so that's funny. So Neptune, Scorpio, which is very psychic energy, and it's interesting because it talks about going deeper, and Neptune and Scorpio is very, very deep energy. It's like the deepest part of the ocean, and Yeah, wow. So there's such a spiritual energy this week for the water signs. It's a little bit heavy, but it's definitely an energy here of going within and finding answers to something, or looking deeper into a situation to understand something of an emotional relationship or your own inner relationship to yourself. Are you trying to look to the external to save you from something that you need to actually find the riches within yourself and save yourself in some way? There's a message about that. There's also messages about, as I said before, finding a gift from within yourself through something that was difficult so that you can grow and almost reach a new level of inner strength and spiritual strength. That's really what I'm getting. So that was for the water signs. Okay, moving on. Let's go to the earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh, something's popping out here. You guys have jellyfish portal. That's so cute. I love these cards. They're so adorable. Okay, let's see what jellyfish portal means for the earth signs. It's number 19, which is a 1, which is usually 1s relate to new starts, new beginnings, and new energy. So it says, you've been fighting and struggling with your present situation without making much progress. It's time to take a page from the jellyfish's book and allow things to take their natural course. Although they have the capability to move independently, jellyfish tend to allow themselves to drift along with the currents of the ocean, trusting the process, not fighting what is. Wow, that's really cool. Do the same and you may find yourself a more content, relaxed and peaceful person, even if you wind up somewhere you never expected to be. I love this message for us earth signs. As you know, probably know, I'm a Taurus as well. So Taurus sun and Venus in Taurus. So yeah, this is about not trying to control something or not trying to force something, or, you know, maybe you have a wish of something that you wish would be better or improve or some kind of change that you're hoping for. But it's saying that there are bigger forces going on that you may not see or understand, earth signs. So there's a reason why, kind of similar to the water signs, there's a reason why something's not working out, and you can't force it. You can't make it happen as much as you'd like to, or as much as you may have liked to in the recent past. It's time to trust the process of your life and just let things unravel and unfold. Let's see. Wow, celebrate. The energy of excitement is in the air. Good news, announcement, and celebration bring unity and gratitude. Wow. So it's almost like for some of you, when you let go, that's when stuff's going to manifest for you. Because like if you're holding on too tight, it doesn't manifest. And that's just such a true experience. I've experienced that many times in my life. And I'm sure if you think about it, when you really, really wanted something too much, you felt like you just couldn't attain it. But once you let go and you started refocusing your energy, or started focusing on what you're passionate about and just kind of let go and go with the flow of life, that's when things actually can come together for you. Let's see what else. We've got one more card for the earth signs. Something back here. Another card about emotional loss. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, see, it could be to do with a relationship or a connection, a friendship, or somebody that you really cared for. Sorry if you can't see that card there. This shows that for the earth signs, you know, that you may feel like you have to let go of someone. You have to let go of a situation, a relationship, a connection, or someone that you really thought would be a different scenario than it actually is. And as I said, for some people, there's actually a breakthrough at hand, but you've had to go through so much over this situation. You've had to go through some pain. You've had to go through some disillusionment, disappointment. But either way, there's something coming up for you guys to celebrate soon. And it is either for some of you to do with this connection, things actually working out. For other people, it's something else that will set you on a different course, is what I'm feeling. Let's look at the Astro Dice. So we have Gemini and the North Node. Wow. So an important communication's coming in this week for the earth signs. Could be dealing with a Gemini, or you could have Gemini in your own chart. But this is a push forward and new direction opening up, a new start, an important communication this week. Wow, that's pretty interesting. All right, so moving on to the fire signs. So this is Leo, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what your message is from the mermaids. Flying fish. How funny. The fire signs have like these fiery colors, which is like all the oranges and reds. Flying fish, number 11. So 11's a master number. Let's see what the fire signs have. It says, a butterfly-winged angelfish glides effortlessly through the air before a pleasantly pastoral scene. The juxtaposition between the sky and the sea suggests a feeling of incongruence, yet the fish appears content with its surroundings. That is a very cool message. It's like, and it actually says, like, you might have been asking yourself, what am I doing here? Like, what is my purpose? What am I doing here in this particular situation in my life, whether it's a work situation, a living situation, a relationship situation, whatever it is, you've been questioning yourself and you've been feeling overwhelmed. There's something about trusting about leaving your comfort zone when you feel pushed to grow. Okay, so interesting. So it feels like you guys have been thinking about your purpose, thinking about what you really want to do, not just earning money for the sake of earning money, but really thinking more deeply about that. And there's something about trusting the flow here, not trying to force things right now, but also just listening intently to your intuition. You have hope here, which is like the star. That's a beautiful message. So it's saying have patience. Things are unfolding, fire signs. Can't really, again, like the earth signs, we can't really force things right now, but keep an open mind. Oh gosh, so noisy outside. Sorry about that, guys. Muse says, you are a source of inspiration. Become the muse of your own life and translate beauty into a universal language. What a gorgeous message. Translating beauty into a universal message. There's some kind of joy that you experience from doing something that you love, and that does ripple out and affect other people, whether you realize it or not. And the Muse card is definitely about inspiration. So finding new sources of inspiration, whether it's something creative, it could be music, it could be art, it could be something that you're really passionate about. Let's look at the astro dice for the fire signs. Oh, Sagittarius came up. How about that? Sag and Neptune. So very spiritual energy here. So again, the fire signs may have been thinking, what is my spiritual purpose in this life? What am I meant to be doing? Waiting for answers to come. And it's like, have faith. Things are in the works. And yes, you'll be prodded to move out of your comfort zone soon. But you need to listen to your intuition as to when that is. And lastly, the air signs. So this is for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This one wants to come out. Oh, wow. A certain slant of light. Interesting. This little dragon in the background. Let's see. And it's a 28, which is a 10, which is a 1. Let's see what this message is for the air signs. Okay, it says, a pensive mermaid lies in her grassy pond, waiting for an answer to come to her. A grand light shines from above, illuminating her and her surroundings in a moment of divine insight and understanding. Darkness and confusion are commonplace in the world, but do not worry, illumination is coming in the form of a new way of viewing your environment or situation. Some call it divine insight, others call it enlightenment. Either way, be prepared for a new perspective. A sudden shift in thinking will arise from the uncovering of some facts, information, opinions, desires. These new points will help you understand where you are now and help you answer some questions that have been gnawing away at you for some time. Be prepared, though, the illumination may be subtle and easy to miss. Keep your eyes open and your spirit curious so you do not miss out on the illumination you've been waiting for so long. So air signs, some information that's very important is coming through for you guys this week, which makes sense, especially because of the Mercury retrograde in an air sign in Aquarius, and Mercury rules Gemini as well and Virgo, but we're doing air signs here. Oh, we have some flipping cards. We have passion ignited. Interesting. That's a 1 on that, the 28. 8, 2 is 1, and that's also a 1 up here. So it seems like this new information is going to help you to refocus on your passions in some way, or to refocus on your path, your individual path, because it's a 1 and you have 2 1s here. So new information coming in. Let's see what else for the air signs this week. Something here. Flourish. Conditions are perfect for growth and expansion in business or a situation you're passionate about. Don't you love that? Look at that right there. What the situation you're passionate about, and it says passion ignited. Perfect message. I love the synchronicity. That's so cool. So because of information you're finding this week, this is going to help you open up your path and your passions. And I do get something about nature here, like the natural world, spending more time in nature, being open to like the energy of the elemental beings. I'm getting, for some people, like there might be just 1 or 2 people, there's a connection with fairies and the elemental realms. Fairy kingdom energy is kind of magical. Wow, that's beautiful. All right, and see what the Astro Dice say for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, Mercury and Aquarius come up. Don't you love it? That's crazy. I love the synchronicity. So Mercury in Aquarius is actually exalted in astrology, that placement, if anyone has Mercury in Aquarius out there. What that means is this week you guys are like a channel for divine energy coming in, divine downloads and higher self messages, messages from your guides. So you guys will be able to receive very high level messages and answers to things that you may have been wondering about, even cosmic level stuff, you know, stuff about the planet, stuff about life on earth, what we're going through in the collective. But also it's going to affect your own personal world, and it's going to allow you to open up to this new level of inspiration. So wow, the air signs, you guys had an amazing reading this week. I love that. That was really powerful. So anyway, that was the reading for the week. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, if you'd like to book a personal reading, go to the link below. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.